Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie, and in my last video I talked about the first two stories in the Bachman books, Rage and a Long Walk. And in this video I'm going to talk about the last two stories, Road Work and The Running Man. So I'll start with Road Work. I didn't really care for it, to be honest with you. I know it's either, I think you either really like it or you really don't. But I didn't like it. I thought it was boring and it kind of dragged. I just couldn't relate to the character at all. And I knew I had to make a video about my thoughts on it. So that was like pretty much the only reason why I finished it, because I knew I was going to make a video. But yeah, I didn't care for it. I liked Rage and the Long Walk a lot better, but it wasn't until the end of the story though that I changed my mind. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I really didn't like it at all. And by the end of the last couple of pages, kind of changed my mind and made me understand the character a little bit better. But the main character, George Dobbs, I think that's his name, but he just seemed like an asshole. He had some hard times and some shit things happened to him. His son passed away a few years prior to the story of a brain tumor. They don't really get too much into it, but he was really close to him, and I couldn't imagine losing a child. Like, it would be the most horrible thing that could ever happen to anybody. I just don't think it gives you the right to treat others like shit. And that's kind of the impression I got of him. I thought he was very selfish. But the story's about this guy, and they're building a highway. They want to build a highway that goes through an interstate, or that goes through his home where he lives and through his place of work, which is like a laundromat or something that he runs. But it was hard for me to get invested in the story. But he is in denial, and he's supposed to be looking for a house to live and a new place for his business. And he just avoids it and is waiting for a miracle to happen, which of course never comes. And everybody around him is sick of his shit, and his wife finds out that he's been lying to her because he's been pretending that he's looking for a house this whole time and he's not. And she gets fed up and she leaves him and goes and moves in with her mom. And you know, everybody that he works with is pretty angry with him because, you know, that's their job. That's, you know, their own livelihood. That's, you know, he's just very selfish, I think, in the way he goes about it. I don't want to spoil the whole thing in case, you know, you do want to read it, but I didn't care for it. The ending I thought was good though. I thought the ending made the story. I thought the ending, it made everything make sense, because as I was reading it, it didn't make so much sense to me, the why he was being the way he was. And I guess when Stephen King wrote the book, he was mourning the grief of the death of his mother, which, you know, I understand. I didn't really see, I wouldn't have known that unless I found out later on. I found that after I read the story. But it's about loss and death, and like, I guess maybe about how the human mind deals with tragedy, and like, you know, the fact that his son died and he, you know, he lost his house, he's losing his house, he's lost his wife, everything that's normal to him, his stability has shot through the roof, and it's kind of like his mental decline. The story is about his mental decline through this, and I don't know. I like the idea of it, and I like the ending, but like, it was just it just seemed very boring to me. I just couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. I wish I had better review or, better things to say about it. I'm not saying don't read it because I personally didn't care for it, but I know a lot of people do like it. And I thought the ending almost made me want to reread it, but not that much. But I don't know. That's what I thought of Road Work. But I don't know. Not my favorite. So I am going to proceed and I will talk about The Running Man, which I actually really, really liked. It's the way it's written. Let me see if I can go in here. I'm going to put my glasses on because I am sort of blind. But if you see, I can show. They're not chapters, but they're like little like segments. And but it'll be like minus 63 and counting. If you can see, am I showing you? Minus 63 and counting. I liked how it was like short little segments. And the story's about this guy and his he's married and his wife, he's married, he's got a wife and a daughter, and his daughter is about 18 months old and she's got the flu, and it's set in it was written in the early 80s, but it's set now like in the like 2000, like in the 2000s. So like it was written when it was written, it was the future, but it's now, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird. But the daughter's really sick and they live in a place called Co-op City, and it's where all the poor people are. He's been out of work. A lot of people have been out of work. It's they have, it's kind of like different classes. They have like people who are wealthy, and everything is set by like the government is like run by this network, and everybody's glued to their TVs. They call them freebies. I don't know why they call it that, and they don't just call it TV, but anyway. And everybody's hooked on these TV game shows, and these game shows the government puts on are where people can win money, and they do different things like, but it's set up for the person to fail. And they have one where there's like a treadmill, and say somebody with heart problems would go on there, and they would go on the treadmill, and they'd have to stay on it for as long as they could while somebody's interrogating them and stressing them out. And most people will end up having a heart attack before they win. So that's the idea. It seemed like they were trying to get rid of like unsavory people, like get rid of like the poor and the poor people. That's what it felt like. And but people are desperate. It's very desperate times. It's a horrible world that this takes place in. And this guy Ben, he's his daughter's very sick, and he doesn't have money to give her medicine. There's no health insurance. The medicine that they are able to get is like crap. It doesn't work, and nobody gives a shit. And it's just a really ugly place. And the wife has to actually prostitute herself just to put food on the table, because that's how bad times are. And so he decides that, he's sick of it. He's going to do something. So he applies for the games, and they do a bunch of psychological and medical testing on him. And he gets chosen for a game called The Running Man, which is where they take somebody and they have the best hunters like in the world go after him. But not only that, they have this guy go on the TV and they doctor his picture, and they make him look very dark and menacing, and they portray him as a villain, like a bad guy, a criminal. And they tell the American people, that the viewers, that if they capture him or if they kill him, they get some money. So, a lot of people are in desperate times, so they're gonna want to go after him because they're gonna want the money. So they make him very hated, and everybody is after him. So he's got the whole world, or the whole country, the whole world, and these hunters that are going after him. And then he has to, every day he's got to send 2 videos proving that he's alive. And it's really interesting. It's very fast paced. It's the kind of book where you want to keep reading. You want to find out what's happening. It was not boring like I thought road work was. It was a complete change of pace from that, which I was very happy about. I thought it was very exciting. I was very into the story. The things that he has to do to survive is there's some parts that are pretty gross and interesting, but it was kind of cool because it wasn't just, you know, his brawn. He had to use his brain and try to outwit these people, and they probably looked down on him and didn't think he was as smart as he was, because he was, you know, very smart in the way he went about it. And there were a few people that helped him along the way, and he learned things. Like he learned that the government has been polluting the people and not saying anything. They're trying to, you know, make them think about the games and about other things instead of what's really going on. I don't want to talk about politics at all because I'm so fucking sick of politics, to be truthful. Sorry for my language, but that's the way I'm just so fucking sick of it. But in a lot of ways, what was going on in the story seemed pretty relevant to what's going on in the world today, and how we all get, you know, our news and our information from social media and from, you know, different news outlets, and, you know, people don't know who to trust and what's real and what's fake news, what's real news, and all of that. And sometimes it feels like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like there's other things going on that they don't want us to think about, if that makes sense. I know I sound like a conspiracy theory person, but I'm not. But it made me think about a lot of weird things. So I thought that was kind of cool, because I like books that make you think about shit, you know? But what was I saying? I'm sorry for rambling and being all over the place. But the government's polluting the air so bad that one kid that ends up helping him with his hiding, this kid's little sister, who is 5 years old, has lung cancer, and he can't believe that could be. And the kid did a bunch of research on air pollution and what's going on, and, you know, Ben was shocked that this was going on. He had no idea. And it would seem like most people don't have any idea what's really going on. They're very trusting of the games and the government, and they can't believe that they would lie and they would take advantage of them, I guess. They're like too trusting of the government. And you know, I don't know, it was pretty interesting. But Ben, you know, is running, and I don't want to spoil the story because it was really good. And I definitely recommend reading it. So I don't want to like say like all about everything that happens and how it ends, but the ending is sad but fantastic at the same time. I was really pleased with what he decided to do at the end. He had a choice to make. Ben had a choice to make. And I think, you know, under the circumstances of what he had gone through, I think that he made the correct choice. And I really liked it. Overall, I would say that, maybe The Long Walk and The Running Man were my favorites. I liked Rage too. So I think my favorite would be The Long Walk. Out of this, my favorite would be The Long Walk, The Running Man next, Rage, and the last would be Road Work. But that's my my 2 cents on the Bachman books. But I definitely would recommend this. It's a great book. It's a little different than Stephen King's normal way he writes. There's no supernatural elements or anything like scary. It's about, I think the Bachman books relate more on how people can be scary. Human nature, how people react to things, how people can be fucking scary. You don't need monsters or spooky things or supernatural going-ons to be scary. People can be scary just by themselves. So I think that Stephen King, gets that, and it's in here. And I liked it. And I would recommend reading the Bachman books if you so choose. Some good shit in here. But, side note. So I said that I was going to read all of Stephen King's books in order. And I was thinking about it though. I was looking at a list, and I was thinking, I'm really nervous about doing The Stand because I need to get a new copy of it. I have a ripped up one, and I don't even know if all the pages are in it because it's pretty beat up. So I have to get a new book of it, and it's so long. It's gonna take me. I feel like it's gonna take me forever to do it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I might, but it's gonna take me a long time. I'm not a speed reader at all. I kind of read slow, so I don't know how long that would take me to do. But I guess I'll worry about that later. I've got a touch of ADD. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little all over the place, so I apologize. So I'm hooked on Stephen King again. Once I start reading his books, I want to keep reading it. And I knew that was going to happen. That's why I thought it would be a good idea to do these videos. But I started reading Carrie, and the copy that I have is so beat up that I ordered a new one, and I actually found on Barnes & Noble this hardcover that has a collection. It's got Carrie, The Shining, and Salem's Lot all in one hardcover book. So I should get it next week, I believe. But I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm really, really excited about it. But I have my copy of Carrie, and it's like, it doesn't even have a cover on it and a back cover. It's just very beat up and old. But I don't know. I saw something, and I'm not sure. I'm kind of pissed about the way this book is. I got it used anyways, but it had a cover on it when I got it. But it says that it's a Signet book, New American Library, the thing here. And I'm wondering, is this a first edition? And if it is, I'm kind of pissed that, I let it get so shitty. I mean, it was already kind of shitty when I got it because it was used, obviously. But it had a cover. I mean, it was pretty beat up when I got it. I don't know. I feel bad that the cover's off if it's a first edition. That makes me sad. I don't know. Anyway, I'm reading it, and I was up till 3 in the morning because I just wanted to read more and more. I was like, oh, I'm just going to read 10 pages. And I just kept going and going, and so I didn't get very much sleep last night because I was reading this, and hopefully I'll get my new book soon, and I will share that with you when it arrives so you can see, because I'm very excited about it. I don't buy things for myself very often, so when I do, I get excited. But anywho, I'm sorry for rambling. This is probably such a shit video, and I apologize, but thank you for watching. For those of you who have watched my videos, I really, really appreciate it. And I will try to put more videos out. I'm going to do a review on Carrie when I'm done, and a review on my book. I'll show it. Or not a review, I guess a show and tell when I get it in the mail. I was thinking, I've got a lot of Stephen King books. If I should make a video showing off my Stephen King books, if if I should do that or not. Do you think so? Let me know. Anyway, that's it. Happy reading.